Hey everyone, in this video I want to talk about how to retain and find top talent for your agency. So an agency is only as good as some of its parts. It's only as good as the people you have within it delivering for your clients. And obviously the world of AI changes that a little bit in that more of the work is automated. But still, like, people are buying from your people, whether that's you, whether that's your sales team, whether that's just teams in the softer side of things in terms of customer success and account reps. Those people are what makes your agency have its value because, you know, depending on whether you're delivering a really creative service or a really data-driven service, the people are who they react with. And the results matter most, but then the people getting those results and delivering the message around them are equally as crucial a lot of the time. An agency with mediocre results but great people will hold a client for longer than a client with amazing results and terrible people, generally, because of the communication. So how do you find those people? And so for me, there's two ways, two methods, really, that I've used a lot that I've always found works, but open to ideas as well. So the first one is to obviously hire very young and hungry people. And I would define that in terms of by looking at what they've built and what they've done, not necessarily in work. So one of the best people I've ever hired, guy called Josh, developer. He was 17, 18, I think, back in the day. It's a long time ago. And the reason we hired him was he had no work experience, he had no college degree, but he came to us and showed us all these sites he'd built himself, he'd taught himself, he'd gone and spent the time in his evenings around everything else he did and built his own projects. And that is something that we look for a lot. With SEOs, I often look for people who have set up an e-commerce site or a blog of their own with affiliate links on it. Anything like that shows a bit of get up and go, and they're prepared to roll their sleeves up, put their own money into it to learn and find out how to do it. And that's kind of what I found works best on one route. Those staff are obviously sometimes a bit raw. They need a bit of help with some things, but they've got the right mentality to go on and learn it and do it themselves. So that's generally a great place to find your doers, I would say, for sure. The other angle is I've had a lot of success in finding people who are freelancers, basically, or run very small agencies who, you know, they might be struggling to make ends meet, they might be just getting by, they might be, you know, doing fine, but they're really stressed with it because it's just them, whatever it might be. And kind of just building that partnership with them to the point where you can be like, hey, would you rather just come and work with us? And that works really well as well because they're, again, self-starters, they're entrepreneurial, they know how to do it, but with your process, everything else, your agency as a network effect that they can bring to them, it can be a really good match. And normally you don't, like, I've never done it and had to pay like a buyout fee or anything like that. It's always been just like an acqui-hire, like just come and work for us. This will be your salary. You don't have to worry about paying the bills anymore. If you can bring those clients with you, great, that helps. And that works really well. If their clients are a fit, they might not always be. Sometimes they might just run down these contracts and come and work for you. They're two really great ways to kind of find great talent for your agency, I find. And you know, obviously the third, if you've got the budget and you're big enough to go hire big A players on big salaries, but it doesn't always work out. It's hard to know. And a lot of the agencies that I get involved with in the past have been not quite at that point yet, I would say. Like, you want to work towards that in the future. So once you've got those people, how do you retain them? How do you keep them working hard, keep them working well? And it all comes down to creating a great agency culture, and that is more than just a ping pong table and some beanbags. It's giving them autonomy to run the campaign, to come up with the ideas, to run the brainstorm, to talk to the client, to handle. You're paying these people. You've got to trust them to do what they need to do. I see a lot of micromanagement in agencies, and it's probably the one. I mean, micromanagement is not good in most, if not all, sectors, but particularly in agencies. You crush people's creative spirit straight away. They don't want to do their best work, and we're very entrepreneurial and, you know, hustle type people. They'll go create a side project, they'll make their own thing, they'll be off, they'll leave. So you need to create a great culture where they have freedom to achieve the results they want and where they get rewarded for it. And there's a number of ways to do that. It's probably a separate video around how you reward your agency staff for performance. But that's something that we'll discuss in another one as well. But yeah, just a quick video there, my top tips for how to find a couple of different types of people, slightly outside the box sometimes, like thinking differently in terms of your interview process. Like, don't worry about what they've done all the time. And then just, a couple of quick tips on making sure you're not micromanaging them and you're trusting them so that they stick around, because that's what's important.